Who is Jesus? Can we talk about Jesus? He was actually called Yeshua when he was on earth walking around. They called him Yeshua. And then as time went on with different translations, he was then called Jesus. Why is the name Jesus many times for people such a turnoff? And why can't we talk about him? We can talk about everything else in the world, sports and sex and your job, your car, your hobbies, music, anything under the sun we can talk about, but we can't talk about Jesus, the most important thing in our lives. There's like a stigma to it. Hey, if you don't want to talk about Jesus, talk about Yeshua. Either one, either way. But he was a guy that lived 33 years on this planet, only did good to others all the time. He helped people constantly. How can people have a problem with Jesus / Yeshua? He was the nicest guy in the world, literally. I used to call myself that. I stopped because I'm not. But Jesus and Yeshua, they're the man. For 33 years, they lived on this planet. I guess 3.5 years, he did his ministry, only to help us, to get us through this life and into the next. Everything he ever did was for our benefit. He went out of his way for our benefit. He died on a cross for our benefit. Now, if you have a spiritual side to you, then you can relate to this, because we all have a spiritual side. Some people deny that. They feel, nah, if I can't see it, then it's not real for me. Really? There's a spiritual side to all of us. There's a spirit within, and we have to address that. We can't ignore that. That's where God the Father of the Bible comes in. That's where this guy Jesus, who was God, comes in. He was God, but he was also a man, just like me, just like you, just like everybody else. He went through everything that we go through today. He is an example. He was a sacrificial lamb to go through everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he handled it. And as a result, we know now how to handle it when we go through what he went through. And everything he's gone through, we're going to go through to some degree or another. Absolutely. Were you mocked? Were you beat up? Were you insulted? Were you laughed at? Were you mocked? Jesus got all that and more, and so much more. And people think that he didn't experience life as a human being. That's exactly why he came down here, to get firsthand knowledge of what we go through. He came down here so we can relate to God easier. Okay, you can read about God the Father. God the Father is awesome. But for us to really understand, we learn about Jesus. That's why he came down on earth, for us to learn from him, to see in black and white what Christianity is all about and how we are to live our life. The Bible is just one big instruction manual on how to live and how to conduct ourselves, because we're not going to make it on our own. We have a human nature inside us that is detrimental to us and everybody around us. It just is. That's why in the Bible, many times it says, deny yourself. Deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me. So the more you deny yourself, where you don't lie, you don't steal, you don't gamble and lose thousands and thousands of dollars, you don't go to the porn sites, you don't do this, that, and the other thing, the better off you're going to be. The more you'll be able to find peace, joy, and happiness. Now, do we have the desire to do all that vice-filled activity? Absolutely. That's our human nature, rearing its ugly head. That's the whole thing about Christianity and Jesus' message. We have to throw our old self out and put on a new man in God's image and likeness by following Jesus' footsteps. See? That human nature, oh, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. Well, I realize that. You're letting your human nature dictate to you and control you. And that's precisely what Jesus says we must get a handle on and deny ourselves. Deny ourselves. But you would never understand that, and I would never understand it for sure if I didn't realize and understand and read what Jesus talked about. Jesus' message is for us to open our eyes. He healed the blind many times, but it wasn't just physical blindness. It was that spiritual blindness that we all have, and we have to change that. So know who Jesus is, what he said, and what he did. He didn't do it for his health. He didn't come down here to lay alongside the pool and get a suntan. He came here for our benefit. And people don't realize that. People think, well, he's just trying to take away all my fun. No, he's not. It's just the reverse. That fun you speak of full of vice only breaks you down and destroys you. And then sometimes it happens later in life where it's too late to change anymore because you're so ingrained in doing the wrong thing and following human nature. So, once again, once we understand Jesus' message and let it sink in and let it change our lives to become a new man and a new woman, the more you're going to have a smile on your face. It's just the way it is. Not to mention the life hereafter, since we're put down here to go through trials to get to the after party, like I always say. It's the after party heaven is. And if you don't understand that, and if you don't act accordingly, you're really, really missing out. Don't want you to miss out.